Hello, Sagittarius Sun, Cancer rising. It is time for your year ahead reading. Let's start off with a little bit of astrology though. With that Cancer rising, that is a water sign and it is ruled by the moon, which means your whole chart is essentially ruled by the moon. You may be particularly susceptible to the different moon phases, to eclipses, to anything that involves moonlight or the phases of the moon. What am I trying to get to? Oh, like the tides going in and out. And you may be really drawn to areas with bodies of water, if you will. You also may find, and if you have not figured this out yet, simply interacting with water for you can help calm you down, can help bring you back to center. Something simple like putting your hands into a bowl of ice water can help calm you. It's therapeutic for you in a way. Now, with that, because that is your rising sign, though, this is how other people see you. This is what they notice about you when you're out and about. So they do notice your sensitivity. They do notice the fact that when the full moon is full, you seem to have a lot more energy. And when there's a new moon, maybe you're a little bit more laid back, or it could be vice versa too. Now, with that Cancer rising, that means your sun is most likely in the sixth house. Not in every case, but most likely the sixth house. That is the house of health, of routines, your day to day things, the things you do to keep yourself healthy or occupied in some way, keep yourself busy, sort of. With your Sagittarius sun there, this means that you may be drawn or prefer activities or routines that involve some form of adventure or excitement. Something maybe you want to routinely have travel or vacation at a certain time every year, just because your Cancer side is going to want to have a plan. It's a cardinal sign, it's going to initiate things. They're going to have ideas. And maybe your travel is usually to a beach location or somewhere on the ocean or on a cruise ship or whatever it is for you. That might be where you go, but it satisfies your Sagittarius need for some sort of adventure and movement and activity, and your Cancer rising's desire to be near water, to be participating in water in some way or with water in some way. It seems a little garbled, but that's exactly, I'm using the words that keep pushing through me, so sorry. I feel like there's more though in that sixth house they want to push through with your health or health routines or your preferences for how to do things. I think it's routines in particular. Maybe you don't like a routine, not a standard steady routine. You may get bored, so you need things that are going to be like running every day is not probably going to do it for you, not long term. So you might want to mix it up. Maybe you'd have swimming days, jogging days, just weightlifting days. Make sure you're taking some rest days, but mix it up, and that's how you can stay more connected to, if you want to get into some sort of a physical activity type of thing, that's how you're going to keep yourself occupied, because your interest in doing the same thing everybody else is going to do or is doing is going to be short-lived, because it's not going to stay exciting for you. All right, that was long. Let's get into your cards. Now, I'm just going to label these 1 through 12 as I'm talking about them, but your first month is going to be December of 2024, and then 12 months from that. So, month 1, again, this is December, and then month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, then we have month 7, make sure they're all in there, month 8, month 9, month 10, month 11, and month 12. And then on the back of the deck, for an extra message or theme for the year, we have the Three of Cups. So I'm just going to start right there with that card, and then I'll get into the monthly readings and kind of an overall feel. This Three of Cups is telling you to take the time to celebrate. Take the time to go out, to meet up with those close friends, those people. Maybe you haven't seen them in a while, but whenever you guys get back together, it's like you've never been apart. Try to spend some more time with them as you're moving throughout this year. They can help you solve so many problems, or at least be there to listen to you and support you if anything happens to come up. But This is about celebrating your connection, celebrating your relationship with these people. It's important that all of you maintain contact in some way and keep it, well, it's just naturally a buoyant or joyful thing when you guys are together. So if you can try to get into some sort of routine with them, or maybe plan some getaways with them randomly or semi-randomly maybe. But make sure you're enjoying yourself. Don't take things so seriously. And it doesn't feel like you would with these particular people. So be mindful too of who you're including in this exclusive circle for you. Okay, now let's get into your months. Now the first thing I do though is I look for major arcana cards, because those can indicate significant shifts in our patterns or the way we live our lives, the things we believe. So if we look at all of your cards for the year, we have the Moon, of course, that's a Cancer card, the Magus, the World, the Star, the Wheel of Fortune. So you have 5 major arcana cards here in your year. So there is going to be some significant shifts for you as you're moving throughout this year. Who you are by the end of this 1 year period may be significantly different in at least one area, probably 2 or 3 areas of your life than you are here at the beginning of the year. This is a natural opportunity for growth, and it could be because Cancer is a cardinal sign, and I believe it's Pluto that has now moved out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. So it's moved out of a cardinal sign, which should promote more growth for you, or at least make it seem a little smoother, like things starting to move again after being stagnant or stuck for a while. So there's that sense of flow as you're moving throughout this year. Okay, well, let's get into the individual months. We're starting off here in month 1 with the 8 of Wands. Wands are a fire element. 8s are indicating things are going, things are moving, things are happening. And with compared that Wands, that 8 tied to the fire, things are coming in quick and hot. You're going to have to handle things, going to have to make quick decisions. You're going to have to be ready. You're going to have to be prepared. Don't dawdle. Don't take too long. You want to handle things swiftly. Otherwise, they can get out of hand. So try to stay on top of things, or be aware anyway that you're going to be expending a lot of energy dealing with a lot of miscellaneous stuff that's going to be coming at you. Make sure you try to find space within that to take some time breaks, to take some time for yourself, to take time to breathe. But a lot of activity going on here in this first month for you. And fire does indicate passion, so it's something that you probably don't mind, but it could be very exhausting for you. So just be aware of that. Make sure you're taking care of yourself amongst all of that. Keep yourself the number 1 priority. And then in month 2, we have the Page of Wands. So Page is a fresh, young energy. They're naive. They're just learning to walk, if you will. They are learning to speak. They're figuring it out as they go. So with no information or anything, they're just going to pick a direction and take off and see what happens. And it's Wands, which is that fire element. So they're going to be really excited about it, passionate about it. It may be something that involves some physical activity in some way. These are the people who are always running, and then tripping over their feet. But then they get up and they keep on running again. They will make mistakes, and they know that. It's part of who they are. But it's not going to stop them from continuing to move. And there's this sense here that this is something, maybe this is a project you're starting, because this feels like it's your energy a little bit. It's like somebody's a little fire under you. There's something you want to do, and you don't know who to talk to about it. You don't have the first clue of how to start it, so you're just going to start. You're going to figure it out. This could be that Sagittarius Sun off on a new adventure to try something out. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, but you got to try it because you got to know. So there's something that you want to do, or that you will be doing and looking into, that may involve some physical activity. Maybe this does have to do with that 6th house stuff. Maybe there's some, I don't know, maybe you want to take up to what is it? I'm going to butcher this. Taekwondo? Anyway, some sort of martial arts, or maybe you want Tai Chi, or maybe it's jogging, like joining a running club or something like that. Maybe it's some other physical type activity. It feels strongly leaning toward that more than anything else. Maybe it's a dance class. Incorporate something that's fun and new to you, something you haven't done before, something you don't have a clue if it's going to work out or not, and just enjoy it. Have fun with it. And then in month 3, we have the moon card. Now, this card represents Cancer, is that moon energy. And the moon card itself can be about secrets revealed. Something that you could not see, but you can't see the forest for the trees kind of thing. There's so many there that you can't make out individual details. Under the light of the moon, though, things look different. And you can make out things in a different way. It's almost like you can put the pieces together to create something that's bigger than the sum of its parts. I don't know why they want me to use that, but that's what we're going with. And what I'm visualizing is like this little clump of trees that looks like one solid, healthy, big, giant tree under the darkness of night. How does that make sense, though, even? Sorry, I'm having a side combo with the guides here. Okay, so what they're saying is there is more going on in some situation than what you can see or hear, than what you understand, and that's going to be revealed to you here in month 3. So I don't know if maybe this has to do with the family, because it is a tree and hence family trees, and maybe there is different root systems or different branches or tributary, maybe something you did not know before about the family that's coming to light here in month 3. It's going to be surprising and maybe a little confusing, but it doesn't feel negative necessarily. It's just surprising to you, like you didn't expect that kind of thing. So if this is your family and you're in month 3, let me know if I'm close on that, because that's fascinating to me. It's the images in my mind, am I interpreting them correctly? Just tapping in here a little bit more for this one. No, that's what they have. There's more there than meets the eye. So look for the signs, ask the questions. If your intuition is telling you something, and your intuition could be very strong, I happen to think Sagittarius has strong intuition, and Cancer certainly does, because they're so deeply attached to emotions. I think you'll have an inkling, or it may be through your intuition that you determine there's more going on, and that you can see, you can sense what it is. So asking questions and digging deeper, not being afraid to do that. I think that'll be important this month. It's almost like you're ripping off the Band-Aid, and now the wound can breathe and everything can get better. It's not as bad as it looked, or everybody maybe thought it might look. It just needs to be released. Okay, are we ready to move on now? Yes. In month 4, we have the 2 of Wands. Are you planning a trip? Are you looking at a big old map trying to pick which direction you want to go? Do you have a map against the wall and you're throwing darts at it? Where are you going on your next adventure? Where do you want to take your life next? This is a month about brainstorming and thinking about all the things, coming up with some plans, maybe coming up with 2 or 3 plans, and then deciding later. But for now, you want to put those initial pieces together so that you're ready to act on them as soon as an opportunity comes up. So this may be where there's like opportunities to take some discount vacations if you're ready to strike when they're available. And that's what this feels like. So maybe you hear of or learn of 2 or 3 different opportunities or ways that you could do that, like get into some sort of special vacation or class or something like that, if you're ready to strike as soon as somebody else drops out or cancels, seizing the opportunity. So this feels like a month where you're doing the research on that, coming up with your plans and your options, and then you're going to rank them by preference and then see which one you get. It's a little exciting and kind of fun to do. I may do something like that. Okay. Anyway, next month. In month 5, we have the Magus, or the Magician. This is the first card in the Major Arcana, and this is indicating you have everything you need to create the life that you want. I know, seems kind of basic, right? We could just stop right there. You have the tools, you have the knowledge, you have the connections, you have the energy to make life the way that you want it, to dream up and manifest the future that you desire. You're the one who also has to make it happen, because the magician, all that information is just lying there separately. The magician is the one that brings it all together, makes something of it, and creates something out of seeming thin air. You are the manifester. You are the magician in your life. Remind yourself of that. If somebody is pushing you to do things the way that they want them to do, the way that they dream your life should be, that's nice of them to try that, but this is your life. You are the one with the wand. You are the one with the knowledge in your head about what it is, how you see your future. Don't let someone else take that away from you. Unless it's something you like and you'd like to add on. I mean, that's a different thing. But if it doesn't fit into what your future plans might be, that could also help you in making decisions elsewhere in your life. So keep your eye on that and remind yourself, yes, you can create this life. You just have to keep acting and doing things that drive you in that direction, that take you down that path that you want to go. And part of that is also trusting that intuition, because it should feel right for you. When you're going down the right path, it's going to feel right. It's just going to flow. And for some of you, that could be contrary to prior experience. You're expecting struggle. You're expecting things to be difficult. You're expecting roadblocks. We get those when we're not headed down the right path. If you're headed down the right path, if you are in flow with the universe, with what your big plan is for you, it's going to go smoothly. But if you're not used to that, you're going to question things. So if it's going smoothly, if you're asking for things and now all of a sudden they're there for you, that's indicating you're on the right path and you're doing the right things and you're building the life that you're dreaming of. So keep doing it. And then in month 6, we have the World, the last card in the major arcana. The World is indicating completion, the end of one cycle of your life, and on the precipice of starting the next level, going to the next level, or starting something new. You're taking everything you've learned thus far. You're packaging it up kind of in a way, saying, okay, this phase of my life is complete. I can release that now and look forward to something new, to the next, again, we already said the next phase, guys, to the next project, to the next home, to the next career, to the next hobby, whatever that is for you. It's almost like so for me, it would be quilting. So I am a quilter. I am still a quilter, but my interest in that has faded, and now my interest has picked up more along the lines of painting and things like that. So the World card for me would indicate that my drive and desire for quilting, I've accomplished a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish in that. Kind of closing the books on that a little bit, not completely getting rid of things, still having some side projects here and there, but now my focus is shifting to something else that I want to try and do and learn. It's that type of energy. So what do you want to do next? And that may be what the Magician is also about, helping you come up with that vision for the future and starting to put things in motion for after you close this out. All right, down here in month 7, we have the Knight of Swords. So swords are an air element. That's going to be about communication, information, knowledge. Not so much about any emotional interactions, no feelings, nothing like that. This is pure logic, the facts, the figures. Let's come up with a plan, black and white kind of energy. The Knight is somebody who has read the book, but they haven't actually done the work. That feels exactly right. They've read the book, but they haven't done the work. So they think they know exactly how everything works because they read the book, but they have zero actual experience in it. But they're going to go out and do exactly what they read in the book. They're going to go out and do exactly what they read just that way. And they're going to fail. And then they're going to have to logically figure it out. They're going to have to come up with an alternate plan because what was in the book did not work exactly the way it was written in the book. Because we're all humans here on this earth and we are all different. It never goes exactly to plan. Well, okay, true, honestly, under certain specific circumstances, yes, my Virgo rising would not allow that to not be a scenario. But generally, we're humans. Things evolve, things change, technologies change, etc. What you read in a book 2 years ago may no longer apply today to the same process, the same job. And that's what the Knight of Swords is learning and figuring out. They're gaining the experience. They're looking for it. So this feels like somebody else in your life around this time where you're going to have to be the one to say, well, a little bit of sit back. Try not to say, I told you so. Too much. They're going to do it the way that they learned first. And when that doesn't work, they may come back with questions because they're going to want more knowledge. Don't be stingy with your knowledge. Share what you know, share what's worked for you. Let them know that won't necessarily work for them, but this is what works for you. And then they can take any pieces of that they think would work for them and then try that. Try to adapt the book or what they read along with the experience of others and see if that works for them. But they're going to be going through trial and error a bit. And because it's swords, they're going to want information. They're going to be reading a lot of different things. Maybe they'll be watching YouTube also. And that's where they're also maybe interviewing you or asking you questions about how you did it or how you would do it. And what are your thoughts on this? So you may be getting a lot of questions, maybe interrupting you a lot. Maybe this isn't somebody you usually do a lot of talking with, but this month they're going to have a lot of questions and they're going to need some guidance. So be ready for that. Be there to support them in that way. And just recognize that this is about the thing that they're focused on. When they're asking questions and they just want the facts and the figures, they don't want your opinions on it. They don't want to know how you feel about it. They just want the information. So keep that in mind too. And they don't mean anything. There's no ill intent there. They're just focused on the information. And that's okay. That's how they are. That's what makes them tick. In month 8, we have the Two of Swords. So this is a month where you have a choice to make. There's pretty much just going to be two options. You're going to know all the facts and the figures, and they pretty much even out. Maybe the budgets end up being the same, but they're spent differently, or there's different options included and things like that. But you can't see the end result. There's no way to determine exactly which one is the perfect choice when looking at the numbers and the papers and things like that and listen to everybody else speak. This is a choice you have to make. Only you can make this choice. But you're going to be blindfolded and feel like you don't have the information, or how do you know which to choose if you can't see exactly how they work? You have to trust your intuition. You have to lean into your emotions. Tap into those with both of those options, and then swing that sword in the direction of the one that feels right for you. If you choose to abdicate this decision, you're not going to be happy no matter what choice it was. It wouldn't matter. So you have to make this choice. This is up to you. Own it and trust that what you pick is the right thing. Because it will be. And then in month 9, we have the Star, another major arcana card. This is a card that's telling you it's time to give yourself a break. It's time to give yourself some grace. It's time to pause and take care of yourself. Focus on your own needs for this month, or at least a little bit during this month. Maybe there's been an energy drain, or maybe there's some solar things happening, or maybe this is a month of an eclipse. I have not looked. But there's going to be a need for you to spend some time making sure that you're okay, making sure that you are centered, that you're feeling good, that you're taking care of yourself, or you're taking steps to take care of yourself. Maybe this is a month where you change up whatever your health routines are. Maybe you start taking supplements or looking into that. Maybe you go have, what's it called? A test to looks at all your hormones and things like that and get advice on what supplements to add or where you're deficient. Pay attention to those things. And take care of yourself. This is the month to do it. This is a month where there's some divine timing involved, because this is a major arcana card, and that's what the words they're feeding me is. There's some divine timing involved here. So if there's anything you're worried about, questioning, go get it checked out. There's no harm there. And make sure you're soothing yourself in some way, being gentle with yourself, letting yourself recover from whatever came before. And then in month 10, we have the Wheel of Fortune. And maybe month 9 is all about preparing yourself for what is to come in the next month. Give yourself time to relax and things before the busy season starts, maybe. Well, let's see. Month 10 with the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is just indicating everything changes. Everything changes. The wheel is always moving. Our fortunes come and go, right? There are ebbs and flows, just like the tides. And there's water in this one. So this may have to do for you in particular with some sort of emotional changes or evolutions that are going on here in month 10. It may seem like, or maybe you're worried that something's going to be rocky ahead and that there's some fear or anxiousness about what may be coming. Try to just go with the flow of it, and that will make things easier on you. Don't worry about making things easier on anybody else. You want to make sure you're taking care of your energy and trying to go with the flow instead of fighting against it and exerting a lot of energy to fight against it. Because if you do that, you're going to be exhausted and your emotions are going to be all over the place and frustrated because all your energy's there. So you need to find a way to let yourself just experience it as it's happening and go with the flow and adapt in the moment. And try not to anticipate issues, because you may be making something up and manifesting it if you do that. So try to go with the flow. So this is indicating there may be some rough stuff this month, is what the vibe I'm getting here. But you can get through it by remaining calm and focused and staying in the moment and not anticipating next steps. So take things as they come. Yep. So there's some change going on essentially here in month 10 that may be a little bit rough, but the best way for you to handle it is to keep your eye on where you're at in each moment or each day and pay attention to how you are emotionally and keep yourself on an even keel if possible. Okay, that feels right. And then here in month 11, we have the 7 of Coins. So maybe this change is bringing about some sort of shakeup or decisions that you need to do, or some analysis that you'll be doing here in month 11 related to your home or your work or your finances, or the way that you handle or bring in resources. The 7 of Coins is about generally, and he does have the garden kind of represented here, assessing your crops, determining what worked and what didn't, what grew. Do you need to change anything? Do you need to eliminate anything? Do you need to add something? Do you need to do the fertilizer different? Do you even want to be farming anymore? This is a month where we're doing a lot of that analysis, evaluating our life, the choices we've made so far, what do we want to change, what do we want to remove. Natural part of evolution here in life, especially probably after this change here. This year is going to probably be what's instigating or the reason for this. analysis in month 11. What do you want to keep and what do you want to get rid of and what do you want to change? And what's just fine the way that it is? What's working? That may be the more important question here. What's working? And are you happy with it? So just go through that analysis and try not to commit to the results or the ideas. Just try to objectively analyze whatever this situation is for you. And take your time doing it. Don't rush it. There's no need to rush it. But do the assessment. It may help you gain clarity on where you want to go next. And then in month 12, we have the Page of Swords. So back here we had the Knight, right? Where he read the book, the pages, again, back within the page energy. They haven't read the book. They have no idea there is a book, but they have an idea. They may think they're the first one to come up with it. They could have some wild ideas, okay? They have no plan. They don't know how to get from A to B or Z, or if they should go maybe to the left or the right and then back to the right and to the right again and then another right, and now they end up in a circle. But they don't know until they do it. This is somebody who could feel a little bit impulsive, but it feels fun. It feels like you're going off on a bit of an adventure, and more of an intellectual adventure than anything else. So I don't know if this has to do with reading some books or learning from some sort of philosophical thing. That's another thing for Sagittarius. They could be drawn to philosophical, religious things or options. So maybe you're going off on a tangent, or this person is going off on a tangent and you're just enjoying it because they're sharing all these wild ideas with you, right? And maybe you guys are just talking about them, but in good fun. It's an honest dialogue. It's an open conversation. Maybe it's just about life. Philosophical discussion about life, because this person is young and very inexperienced and they have no idea what might be out there in the future or where they'll go next. So this whole philosophical conversation or whatever exercise, one, you would enjoy it, and two, they're excited about it, and you're able to tap into some of that excitement yourself. So good conversations, I'm going to say, with probably a younger person or about some completely new thing or idea that popped up with a younger person. Yeah, that's feeling good. Now let's go back to this Three of Cups again, because we didn't really bring that up or have it come up as we were moving throughout the year. So I want to tap in some more to this to see if there's any other thing that goes with it. Now, I'm really feeling it here with this Two of Wands and the Three of Cups. So when you do go on an adventure, when you do go away from the family or off, not necessarily on your own, but go to visit somebody, maybe that's part of your self-care or your way of getting away and resetting yourself. As you're working through things or just as you're moving throughout the year, maybe you're going to go off to a spa with those friends here in month 9. And here maybe you're planning trips, or some of this involves going to visit them or working with them in some way. And perhaps this over here, this Knight of Swords, it feels like it may be related to one of these other people here too. But these are your touch points. These are your touchstones as you're going throughout the year. If you have any questions or any doubts, or you're wondering if you're doing the right thing and going the right direction, they're going to be there to support you and help you figure it out. This is your support team. They're a little bit more objective because they're not in the situation with you, but they know you. They know you very well. They know what questions to ask you. They know how to help you figure it out. They're not going to give you the answer necessarily unless you want it, although you may not agree that that's the right answer, and they're okay with that too. So these are going to be important people for you to interact with as you're going throughout the year. That's what it is. Okay. All right. Sagittarius Sun, Cancer rising. That is what I have for you for your year ahead. Please hit that like button. Please share this with others. Please comment below and let me know if this resonated with you or not. And please subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.